So this is something that I have been saying for a while that I'm now totally vindicated on. And there were times where I would say this where I would feel crazy because seemingly nobody agreed with me. But turns out I'm right. So this is from Scientific American. A person who has COVID can shed the coronavirus through their tears, sometimes long after they have recovered from the illness. And the virus may enter the body through the eyes. That's the part that I've been telling people. And I've been saying it for a long time. So it was always weird to me when we talk about, oh my God, you have to mask up, you have to mask up, you have to mask up. And look, I was in favor of it, especially with no vaccine at the time. And, you know, it helps social distance, masking up. It does help stop the spread of the virus massively, of course. I mean, Japan had their initial response to COVID was not a lockdown. It was like, just everybody wear masks. And for a long time, they did a lot better than everybody because everybody just wears masks. Now, but, I always thought, well, if a virus enters your body through your orifices, funny word, I know, we have two giant ones right here that if somebody coughs 3 feet away from me, okay, I might not breathe it in if I'm wearing a mask, or I might not breathe in enough to have a decent viral load, but it can get in my eyes, and I can get the virus through my eyes, and we know, as a matter of fact, we know that other viruses we can get through our eyes. Maybe not all of them, but some of them we definitely get through our eyes. And I had read one thing a while ago that said, like, yeah, we get viruses through our eyes. And I was like, so why isn't nobody talking about, look, I'm so disgusted with our health authorities, and not only in this country, but in the world and in other countries. I'm disgusted with them. Because they never really covered all their bases or comprehensively came out with shit that was reasonable across the board. It always seemed like they were missing a bunch of shit or just guessing on some things and not telling you they're guessing or whatever. And you tell me, when has any of the U.S. authorities, world authorities, or anybody been like, hey, by the way, on top of wearing a mask, you might want to cover your eyes with whatever, sunglasses, regular glasses, goggles, whatever the fuck, because the virus can get in your eyes too. I didn't hear anybody say that shit. Anybody. Even when I had read one article a while ago that was like, yeah, COVID might get into your eyes. So, now, by the way, how do we know this? I'm burying the lead here a little bit, but so there was a study of rhesus monkeys where they tested to see whether or not you can contract COVID through the eyes, and they contracted COVID through their eyes. Okay, now you can say, well, Kyle, that's just rhesus monkeys. Well, the reason they picked those is because they're close enough to humans where there's probably what can happen to them can happen to us, but there's more. Apparently, over 10% of people who have COVID have eye symptoms. I didn't even know that. So, in other words, you might get conjunctivitis, pink eye is one thing. You might have other visual issues that pop up. And yeah, the people who were dealing with this, they contracted the virus through their eye, most likely. Hence the eye irritation. So it's just astonishing. So, yes, masks generally help limit the spread of the virus. That's a fact. There's been a number of studies that looked into that. But it's only so effective if, like, you're wearing the mask and you don't have some sort of covering of your eyes. Now, my recommendation to you guys, assuming you're not vaccinated or whatever, and early on in the pandemic, I definitely would have said this. Get yourself a pair of either sunglasses or just the glasses that are like regular glasses, but they're just non-prescription, basically, because that would have helped. You know, I think that would have helped a lot of people. And you sort of understand now, like, oh, why is it that, you know, masks didn't appear to be more effective? Well, this might be one of the reasons why. Now, again, to be fair, they say only it's over 10% of people who have COVID eye symptoms. So I don't know if all of the people who contracted it through their eyes have eye symptoms. My guess is maybe some of them contracted it through their eyes and they just didn't have eye symptoms. Because the same thing could happen if you contract the virus, you know, through your nose. It's not like you're guaranteed to have sinus issues. You know what I mean? So, and some people contract it through their mouth and they don't. Some just never develop any sort of throat symptoms or mouth symptoms, and they may be asymptomatic even after getting it through their mouth. So it's not like, I don't think there's a direct correlation between the eye problem and therefore it must have come through the eye. Or if you don't have eye problems, there's no way it came through your eye. It's possible it does, but I can't even guess a percentage of what number of people contracted it through their eyes. But we know you can do that. And they at this late-ass day in the pandemic. One article in Scientific American brings it up. You're not going to see anything from the World Health Organization. You're not going to see anything from any of the health officials in the U.S. And it's like, you realize in real time how colossally incompetent everybody fucking is. Everybody. Because this is something we should have known in like week 1, month 1. If I'm being kind, sometime within year 1. But nobody really talked about it, so. And I'm the one who felt crazy when I would tell people, like, yeah, we're covering our mouth, but maybe get in through your eyes, too. And wait, little cherry on top for the end of this conversation. There's a chance you could get in through your ears, too. Oh, God. All right, whatever. Anyway, just get vaccinated. A study came out of France. Over 20 million people tested. If you get vaccinated, it's a 90% reduction in severe illness, hospitalization, and death. So if you get vaxxed, you should be okay. If not, you probably have to cover every orifice. So it's going to come a time where you might have to wear a butt plug when you're out in public if you're not vaccinated. Learned it here first. I'm just kidding about that last part. But anyway, you get the gist. COVID can come in through your eyes. It's crazy to me that nobody really talked about this at any point throughout this pandemic.